And we are back. Welcome to another day of predictions for the Asian Cup and the African Cup of Nations. And a massive welcome back to all of the new viewers we got on yesterday's video. Great to see some new viewers coming in for a brand new series. And hopefully you will stick around for the rest of this series, because we are going to be doing predictions for these two tournaments every single day while these tournaments are going on. So thank you once again for all of your support, and make sure, like I said, that you are subscribed to the channel. And while you're around the subscribe button, please do consider dropping a like on this video as well if you do enjoy these predictions series. We have got 6 games for you today from the Asian Cup and the African Cup of Nations, 3 from each tournament. Let's get straight into it, and we'll start off with Group C in the Asian Cup, and we kick things off with the United Arab Emirates taking on Hong Kong in the first game from that group. Two sides with a relatively mixed form. However, the United Arab Emirates should be considerably stronger than Hong Kong. They are nearly 100 places above them in the FIFA rankings. It should be a game that should be relatively comfortable for them. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to kick off their tournament. The other game in that group sees the second highest ranked side in the FIFA rankings in Iran. They are taking on Palestine in the latest game of the Asian Cup today. Again, really shouldn't be too much trouble. The front three of Taremi, Yahambach and Azmoun should really be too much for most teams in this entire competition. Iran definitely need to be considered as strong contenders for the overall tournament. A lot of people are talking about Japan and South Korea, but actually Iran do split them currently in the FIFA rankings. I am going to go for a 4-0 win to Iran over Palestine. Really shouldn't be too much difficulty for them. And the final game, or should I say the actual first game of the day, because this is the earliest kickoff of today's action, we have Japan taking on Vietnam. Everyone's sort of like favourite second nation at the moment. If you're not from Japan, they've been playing some great football, taking on a lot of European sides recently and getting a lot of big wins. They do have some key injuries at the moment, with the likes of Matoma missing the start of this tournament. However, realistically, against a side that aren't that great in Vietnam, we shouldn't be too surprised to see Japan get the win. However, these two sides did actually face each other in the group stages for qualifying, should I say the qualifying group stage to get to this Asian Cup. And actually, Vietnam got a draw away in Japan and only lost 1-0 at home. So this isn't going to be the sort of runaway victory that people are probably going to expect from this game, but ultimately I do expect Japan to come out on top now that we're in the actual serious tournament phase. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Japan. Let's see if they're going to be the side that goes all the way in this year's competition. From Asia, we then move to Africa. From Qatar, we move to the Ivory Coast. And the first game of the AFCON today is taking place between Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea. And again, a lot of people are fancying Nigeria to win this tournament overall. They've got the likes of Osimhen, Lookman, Chukwueze, Alex Iwobi, Calvin Bassey in the defence. They are missing Victor Boniface for the entire tournament. Like, there was a lot of people saying about how could they coexist? Could they play Osimhen and Boniface together and ultimately win the tournament by having two of the best strikers in world football currently? But one of them is sadly going to miss the entire tournament, so the pressure is going to be piled up on Osimhen to deliver. But like I said, he's got some good quality players in and around him as well. That said, Nigeria have not been on the best of form recently. You look at their most recent results, they've not been getting as many wins as you'd expect. They've had a lot of draws. And on the flip side, Equatorial Guinea haven't lost a game of football in their last 7. So again, it'd be quite easy for me to sit here and say this could be a draw. However, I have to look at player quality. It's the first game of the tournament, but I have to look at player quality when it comes to certainly the first game of the tournament. So I'm going to go for 2-1 to Nigeria, but I think if there's going to be an upset today, this is the most likely game where we're going to see it, with Equatorial Guinea potentially stealing something here. The other game in that group sees Mohamed Salah and Egypt taking on Mozambique. And again, there are definitely arguments to say Mozambique could cause a potential upset in this one. But again, Egypt don't just have Mohamed Salah. They have the likes of Trezeguet. They've still got Hegazi, formerly of the Premier League, in defence, and a couple of other players, the likes of El Neni from Arsenal, etc., etc. So Mozambique don't really have any sort of like massive name players. If you go on their squad, there's certainly a few players that you may recognise. But ultimately, again, I just think Egypt are going to be too strong. I'm going to go for 2-0 to them, which is their most frequent result over the last couple of years. Finally, then, we have Ghana taking on Cape Verde. And again, another really tough one to call. Ghana really haven't been performing recently. Again, if you look at the recent results for both of these sides, both sort of very mixed. A lot of draws again, but Ghana have really underperformed in the last few years. Obviously, they were a massive team a few years ago with the likes of Michael Essien and a few others, but they've not really had any sort of talismanic players for a while. They've got the Ayew brothers. They've brought in Inaki Williams from Spain. Very, very good player, and not a lot of people that probably watch this know of Inaki Williams and his younger brother Nico Williams, who we will see for Spain at the Euros in the summer. But ultimately, it's not really happened for Ghana recently. And like I say, you then look at Cape Verde. They've produced a lot of good results recently. More than half of the Cape Verde squad are based in Spain, either in La Liga or the second division of La Liga. So they've definitely got some good pedigree. They've got some good players. They could cause another upset. But again, I just think overall player names, if you look at the two squads side by side, Ghana really should be winning this one. So like what I've done with the Nigeria result, I'm going to go for 2-1 to Ghana. But as I say, there's definitely potential for some big upsets today. Weirdly, I've actually gone for 6 of the home sides all to win today. So it'll be very interesting to see if that happens. I highly doubt all 6 will win, but you never know. That's the fun of doing football predictions. But that is going to be it for today's action. Thank you very much for watching as always. Let me know down in the comment section all of your thoughts on everything you have seen so far and everything that is yet to come. I will see you tomorrow morning where we'll do this all over again.